have been in a long-term kidney dialysis, have frequent workplace contacts with blood. For instance, a healthcare worker, or have had sex with multiple partners, have had sex with a person who has hepatitis C, share personal items such as toothbrushes and razors with someone who has hepatitis C. Because like I told you, it's a bloodborne pathogen. It's not like you have to see the blood. A microscopic speck of blood could be on a razor, but it will hold the virus. So you go to shave, you cut yourself, you're transferring that blood in. You come in contact with infected blood, you have a chance of getting it. Hands down. You have a greater chance of getting it than HIV. There are 4 times as many people infected with Hep C than there is HIV. You get it? For every 1 person with HIV, there is 4 infected with hepatitis C. We're born to a hepatitis C infected mother. And tattoos, especially tattoo parties, they seem like fun. And I ain't got nothing against tattoos. I actually have my own tattoo. But if you're going to get one, make sure the place is sterilized, the gun, the needle, the ink. You don't want them reusing the ink and the needle on you that they use on someone else. You want to see all packages being opened and the place sterilized. Symptoms. Many people who are infected with hepatitis C do not have symptoms. Hepatitis C is often detected during blood tests for a routine physical or other medical procedures. If the infection has been present for many years, the liver may be permanently scarred. A condition called cirrhosis. And actually, it goes through like 4 stages, because you have to do a liver biopsy. When you do the liver biopsy, you can look at the tissue and get an idea of how healthy it is, depending on the color, how pink or how red or how pale it looks. And then if you get a whole nice about 2-inch piece of liver, that's always a good sign. When you get fragments, not such a good sign. The more fragments you get, the more fibrosis you have, the more scarring you have. And you go from stage 0 to stage 4. With stage 4 being the worst, of course. Your liver is cirrhotic, it has nodules, it's like turning to a stone. So here are a few symptoms associated with hepatitis C, but they're not always present. And by the time they show themselves, it could be too late. You can have jaundice, abdominal pain in the upper right abdomen. Just over your rib cage is where your liver sits, or under your rib cage actually. And it's shaped like a pizza pie. So it's narrow up top and then it gets wide at the bottom, like a triangle. And it sits right here. And it's the largest organ in your body. And when we do liver biopsies, you have to go in between the ribs. You get a loss of appetite. You have nausea, vomiting, and a low-grade fever. This is probably what fools people a lot, especially if it happens in the winter. Probably just thinking you're getting the flu. But the jaundice is always a major indication that something is wrong with your liver. You get that yellow tint in your eyes. You get a yellow skin color. You need to get checked. Pale or dry clay-colored stools. Dark urine. Generalized itching. Let's see. And bleeding varices, which are dilated veins in the esophagus. And signs and texts. Hepatitis C virus serology. ELISA assay to detect hepatitis C antibody, hepatitis C PCR tests, elevated liver enzymes, liver biopsy. And if you ask, I'll tell you later about the liver biopsy. Hepatitis C genotype. There are 6 genotypes are present around the world. Most Americans have genotype 1, which is the hardest genotype to treat. Hepatitis C is not, and if not, and there's a pretty good success rate with treating hepatitis C. You do get people to go into what is known as SVR, sustained viral response, which means the virus is no longer detectable, which in theory means you're cured. But there are 5 phases of hepatitis. Number 1, hepatitis A. This is spread by drinking water or eating food contaminated with fecal matter that contains the virus. Flu-like symptoms such as fatigue, nausea, vomiting, abdominal discomfort, dark urine and jaundice, yellowing of the skin and eyes. Liver tests may be elevated. Treatment: bed rest and avoidance of intimate contact can last between 3 weeks and 6 months. There are 2 approved vaccines. Patients already exposed to hepatitis A for long-term protection. Next, hepatitis B. It's spread through exposure of infected blood, unprotected sex with an infected person, sharing contaminated needles, and travel to countries with a high rate of infection. Infected mothers may infect their newborns. The treatment for hepatitis B is interferon alpha. A vaccine recommended for newborns, infants, and teenagers provides immunity for at least 5 years. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hepatitis C, the nasty little bugger, is spread direct contact with human blood, which can occur from being pricked accidentally by a contaminated needle, injecting drugs, and sharing razors or toothbrushes with an infected person. And half the people, you never have symptoms. That's why it's known as the silent killer. It just doesn't reveal itself until it's too late. And the treatment is with interferon alpha or a combination of interferon and a drug ribavirin. There is no vaccine. We have hepatitis D. This one is spread through contact with infected blood. Requires the hepatitis B virus to replicate. So it infects either at the same time as hepatitis B, or it infects someone who already has hepatitis B. B may have some effect. This one is spread through water contaminated with fecal matter, especially in developing countries, and contaminated uncooked shellfish, fruits, and vegetables. Abdominal pain, dark urine, fever, jaundice, nausea, and vomiting. Some of my hair. The treatment: bed rest, no drug treatment or vaccine. And in the U.S., out of all 6 of these hepatitis A, B, and C are the most prevalent. When we protect yourself, respect yourself.